Everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you here today to go over an article I saw that was pretty disturbing to me from Red State dated August 9th. It says multiple FBI field offices targeting Catholics as domestic terrorists. And just to reiterate again, I am not a Christian, I am a Jew, but still I see stuff like this and it makes me go, what the hell? So it's another reason also to destroy the FBI for another Republican gets into office. Like, just get rid of it. Salt the earth with it. As I've said before, do to the FBI what the Romans did to the Carthaginians. Okay. So, go into the article. It says the FBI's persecution of ordinary Americans has taken another darker turn. On August 9th, House Judicial Chairman Jim Jordan and Subcommittee on the Constitution and Limited Government Chairman Mike Johnson released information demonstrating that the FBI's Richmond field office coordinated with several field offices to produce a memorandum naming mainstream Catholics as domestic terrorists. The FBI had, earlier this year, been forced to retract the original memo. The original memo is available for viewing here at this link right, and the link is in the description below if you want to go ahead and pull up the article and then pull that up. The article continues, says the House Judiciary GOP has released a letter they sent to Director Ray seeking more information. All right, here we go. There's the embedded tweet with it. And he had, I guess it says right here that he previously the actions were limited to a single field office. Obviously, he lied, which what else is new? So that's what that sentence here says. And then here it says, testifying before the committee in July, Ray called the document appalling and noted it was limited to the Richmond office and had been retracted. He also said investigation into the creation of the document was still ongoing. It was a single product by a single field office, which as soon as I found out about it, I was aghast and ordered it withdrawn and removed from FBI systems, Ray testified. But the memo was not produced by a single field office. The Portland and LA field offices were also implicated. Well, I'm not surprised it was in those areas since those seem to be uh, active places for extreme leftism, which means they'd be extraordinarily hostile to anyone really that's religious, but certainly to Christians first and foremost. The article goes on, says the Committee on the Judiciary is continuing to conduct oversight of the Federal Bureau of Investigation's assessment of traditional Catholics as potential domestic terrorists. From information recently produced to the committee, we now know that the FBI relied on information from around the country, including a liaison contact in the FBI's Portland field office and reporting from the FBI's Los Angeles field office to develop its assessment. This new information suggests that the FBI's use of its law enforcement capabilities to intrude on Americans' First Amendment rights is more widespread than initially suspected and reveals inconsistencies with your testimony before the committee. Given this startling new information, we write to request additional information to advance our oversight. And that was this memo. That's right here, or at least a summary of it or a part of it. And then it says the specifics of that discovery appear later in the letter. On July 25th of 2023, the FBI produced a version of the Richmond document with fewer redactions than the previous two versions it had produced. I'm actually surprised there wasn't a completely redacted piece of paper. They just gave it something with black lines through everything. I mean, it is the FBI. Who the hell knows what they're trying to hide at any given time? So this version shows that the FBI's actions were not just limited to a single field office, as you testified to the committee. The document cited reporting from an FBI Portland liaison contact with indirect access who informed on a deceased racially or ethnically motivated violent extremist, it's an RMVE, I guess, subject who sought out a mainline Roman Catholic community and then gravitated to the Society of St. Pius X, SSPX. So everything has to be an acronym because that's just the way it is. Also, the letter, in very correct terms, essentially asks Ray why he failed to fully disclose the involvement of the other FBI offices. And then the letter says, we wrote to you on July 18th, inviting you to correct the testimony you provided on July 12th related to the FBI's role in the censorship of American speech. This new information raises additional concerns about the accuracy, completeness, and truthfulness of your testimony. We invite you to amend your testimony to fully explain the nature and scope of the FBI's assessment of traditional Catholics as potential domestic terrorists. And the letter provides a list of required documents that Director Ray is to provide the House Judiciary by August 23rd. I would be kind of surprised if he actually does that. So it says on Director Ray's watch, the FBI has taken actions that should chill not only Catholics but all Americans. In the original action, the FBI appears to be fishing for ways to target mainstream Catholics as domestic terrorists, and in so doing, attempting to push them away from exercising a right that is recognized by the First Amendment. And part of my problem here is like, if the government is doing this, like, how do they get punished? If they're violating your constitutional rights, like what happens? I honest to God do not know the answer to that question. Like, what are we supposed to do about that? So they violate your rights and you're just supposed to go, okay, slap on the wrist. Let's just move on with our lives. But like, doesn't something need to happen? Like, is there some sort of consequences, like fines or something like that? I mean, I honestly, I don't know if someone out there happens to listen to this and knows the answer to that question, by all means, tell me. I would be very interested in knowing. So just a couple more sentences left. Says many of the first European settlers to arrive in North America made a long, perilous journey to escape religious persecution. Their ancestors, our founders, felt strongly enough about religious liberty to enshrine it in the Bill of Rights, indeed in the very First Amendment, alongside freedom of speech, freedom of the press, and freedom of assembly. It should be of great concern to all Americans of any faith or lack thereof that the FBI has been caught proposing to engage in what may only be seen as religious persecution. And the full degree of questionable policies and outright corruption in the FBI is still coming to light. And Red State will bring you more on this and other stories regarding the FBI as they develop. So yeah, this is really disturbing. I mean, they can do this to anybody they want to, and what the hell makes them like? Why target Catholics? I mean, I could think of other religious groups out there, that might be a little more uh, worthy of putting on a list than just regular Catholics. I mean, a bunch of my friends are Catholic. They're like the nicest people. No. So I don't understand why these people like did they do something or you guys or it's like is the FBI trying to like fish for something? And that's what it seems like is that they're trying to fish for something here. And then, this just doesn't fly. So what do you guys think about this? What do you think about our FBI? Do you agree with me that the FBI needs to basically have happen to it what the Romans did to Carthage, if you catch my drift? Or do you think we should keep the FBI around to keep abusing everybody's rights? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.